I'm making lots of noise. Hello, hello. Say hi, Nikki. I see Michelle. Hi, Michelle. We're going to play again tonight. Hi, Ivy. We're going to play again tonight with a different stencil. See if we can come up with, hi, Adele. See if we can come up with some different designs. So my goal this week so far has been, what else? Hi, Angela. You do see another stencil. So my thought this week has been, what else can we do with our stencils that are different from the standard? Yes, you did. That are different than the standard way you see the stencil. So this is the stencil. Yes, today we're going to do another stencil work. So I'm super excited. This is the water mandala. So most of the time when you see it, you either see half of it or a portion of it that someone has used oxides or whatever on them. Hi, Mama. Hi, Cheryl. But I thought tonight we'd play around like we did last night with Copic coloring some parts of the stencil, but not all of the stencil. So to speed it up a little bit, I've chosen the colors that I want to use tonight, so we don't have to go through that. What color? What color? You were just halfway through last night. Well, I'm glad you didn't miss this, Meg, because we're going to kind of repeat that same type of theory. So I chose this stencil. And then I decided, because what it's called the water mandala, and what I see are water droplets. So they kind of look like water droplets to me. So I thought, let's pull out the Gone Fishing stamp set. And I decided we'd use one of these tonight and a sentiment from here. And that way I won't lose the stamp set. Just out of curiosity, we do have matching dies for this set in the shop. www.sweetsentiment.us. If you need to see that up close, it's right there. So I went ahead and I put the stamp on here because this is how I want it to be. And look at this stamp. Oh my gosh, wait till I stamp it. I'm going to show it to you up close because you guys are going to laugh. I chose this, I chose the girl that looks like she's going fishing. She's kind of walking along with her fishing pole and she's ready to check things out. See how her fishing goes tonight. And then I chose this stamp set, this other stamp, to look like he's jumped out of the water and is grabbing her fishing pole, which I thought was super funny when I chose it. So I thought it would be a great image to use tonight. And so I stamped it twice because I want the fish to be really dark. Hi, Gayla. So I wanted it to be really, really dark. So I stamped it twice. And I'll be honest, I wanted to know exactly where I wanted that to be. So I did lay the stencil over it to make sure that like it was in the center of the stencil. But that I didn't really need to show that part because we're going to show it right now when we lay the stencil on top to decide where we're going to write everything. Oh, I should close my ink pad because I've been known to stick my elbow in it if I don't close it up. We did use Memento ink because we're going to use Copic markers to color the image that we draw out tonight. So I'm going to just grab my pixie spray that I have handy right here, and I'm going to spray the back of the stencil so it will lay perfectly on the paper, because I don't know if you can tell, but mine's a little warped See, I can stick my fingernail underneath it. So I warped it a little bit with the glitter paste, but when you spray the pixie spray on it, it will lay it flat. So I won't have to worry about it lifting up. Hi, Taz. So now we're going to find out where we want to put this on here. I'm probably not going to do any of this inside stuff with this stencil because I want to sort of make a little frame around the girl. And so I'm going to put it on there like this. So once I figure out how I want it to be on there, I'm just going to rub it a little bit with my espresso just to make sure it stays down there. Hi, Rinska. And I did not mask tonight because I'm not going to do any of that center section. And honestly, I tested it before we went live to make sure it didn't cover it. But I did actually cut a mask just in case. So you can see I did try to do my pre-work, but I realized in the end I didn't really need it because I don't think I'm going to go that far into drawing this out. So I have a multi-liner. This is a Copic multi-liner. It's water and Copic proof. This particular one is a 0.2. And as I said last night, you can buy these in two different types. You can buy the one that looks like this in the gray plastic, or you can get the one that's in like the metal barrel. These are disposable. Once they're gone, they're gone. They're a little bit cheaper. These are refillable, and you can replace the nib on the end if it gets damaged. You just pull this end out and you put a new ink in there, and then you can use it again. So that's why I like these multi-liners. If you don't use them a lot, you probably don't need to do that. You can buy the disposable ones because it won't really matter. And I broke a nail getting soda out of the fridge today, so it's been a tough day. Hi, Tammy. So what I thought was, since I'm doing the little fishing guy, I want to do the droplets of water. But I think I'm going to do these droplets of water and these. I think we can do both. So what I'm going to do is start going around and tracing out so we have our design. So just using a multi-liner. Just going to go around and draw these in. It's amazing what you see once you start drawing these in. This one can also be like a flower, I think.
I stepped away. Was Rinska talking
No. Rinska. My husband said, I walked away and I just got back. Was Rinska talking about me when she said he's cute? He's a funny guy tonight. These are pretty easy to do. Just all you have to do, this multi-liner fits in there perfectly. If you have a really thick multi-liner, sometimes it won't go in the tiny areas. So I try to use a thinner one. Yes, Dale, you're cute too. I think so, but then I'm partial because I'm married to him. So I wanted to do these water droplets because I think the water droplets are really cool. And I have a feeling this one's going to come out really nice. So now I have the outside row done. And I was like, well, part of them are off the page. So maybe I want to go in just a little bit deeper. So I decided to do these water droplets as well. Did you guys sign up for your retreat yet? Seats are limited. We're super excited. We're starting to make plans for what we're going to do, what cool stuff we're going to get for you guys. I know Mom signed up. These could also be flames. You know, I was a little bit tempted. I see a fuzzy on my... I was a little bit tempted to use the cavemen from a couple releases ago and make these flames, like maybe you're lit, or there was one of them holding a torch, or there was one of them cooking a fish. And so I was tempted to use that one, but I really like this fishing set a lot, and I haven't used it in a while, so I thought I would pull it out and use this one instead. Hey, Tammy. So, in doing this, I think we need the inner section too, just to link them together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that part as well. Kind of think we need to link them together. Plus, I just kind of like it. So I decided to do this part too. I promise we're not going to do the entire stencil. Just pick the pieces that appeal to you and trace them out and just see what you come up with. I mean, you never know what it's going to end up looking like in the end until you try it. And you can do this with any stencil that you have. Now, if you were going to do this with oxides or inks, you would need to mask off things, but we are going to Copic color them, so we don't really have to do that. I have to sometimes be patient with myself because I get to doing this a little bit too fast and I start getting my lines all messed up, so... I think I want to add one more thing, though. I don't want to go too far into here. I don't want to do the other droplets. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it stops doing that. Hi, Kathy. It's not freezing on our end, so I hope it stops doing that on yours. I decided if I put these little dots in here, we could put bling over them. Or we could color them, whatever we decide. Maybe color them a little bit and put bling over them. But I pulled out some bling for us to use, and I thought, oh, these are the perfect size for that bling. So if I go ahead and put these circles on here, I'll know exactly where I want to put all of that bling. So it's going to have a lot of bling on it. It's going to be awesome. You too? It's freezing? Bling is always good. You're not freezing, you're hot. I'm a little bit on the warm side too. And it's not freezing on my end, so maybe it's Facebook stuff. I don't know. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's all I want to draw out of the image. It's maybe half the design. So I'm going to close my pen and we're going to lift it up now so you guys can see what we have. Isn't that cool? It looks like I didn't get a really good line on this one, so I'm going to freehand it real quick. There we go. But yeah, this is super cool. So this is the stencil. But this is what I have. It's a whole different looking design, which I really like. And I also wanted to show you guys, those who were watching last night, that I did today color up this one. This is the one we did last night. This was the one we did last night. And these are all the other pieces with, of course, some more olives because I was feeling olive-ish. So I did color it and I am going to make something out of it. So that's 3 designs out of the other stencil, and now we have this one plus the regular one. I sprayed Pixie spray to hold it still. Hi, Tammy. Bowling pins. Yes, it does look a little bit like bowling pins. Again, you can color and put whatever part you want out of this stencil, which I think is super cool. So I think we're going to start with coloring her, just because that way we'll get her rolling here, and then we can focus on the outside of it. So I chose a little bit different skin color tonight. Instead of the E04, I chose E13 to make her look a little more tan. So I'm going to first put that base color on her skin of E000. And I'm going to do all her skin because I don't have to do her whole leg. I just have to do a really small part of her feet, because she might be wading in that water with no shoes on tonight. So she didn't wear any socks. At least that's my story. Anyway. Okay, so moving to E13. I'm going to do the area I want shadowed on with E13. This is my darkest shade because I'm not using the E04 or the RV95 that I usually use, because I want her to look a little bit more tan because she is walking outside. And might not be dark enough, but we'll see. I'm okay with it. I'm a whitey, and so when I get outside, I don't really get any sun either. So I think I'm okay with giving her a little bit of suntan. So the next color I have is E11. And I'm going to push that dark color back in to itself because I really want that, at least that shadow area, to stay. You guys hear the printers? They're kind of loud tonight. I'm sorry about that. We got a lot of work going on for the upcoming shows. Pleasanton is first. Hi, Nana Joe. So we'll be in California March, I believe. E21 is the second to the last color. So after this one, we're going to put some little rosy cheeks, since she is doing a bunch of walking to get down to the river so she can go fishing. We use a little bit more of this one because it is the third color. It is kind of true skin color. Hi, Linda. I'm going to go ahead and finish off her little feet because they are kind of hidden. Okay, I pulled out R11 for her cheeks. So I'm going to go ahead and put her little cheeks in here. I want them to be pretty rosy, so I'm going to use it kind of heavy because she's sweating a little with all her walking going on. Hi, Melanie. You like how we give them a whole story and everything, all of what our characters are doing? E00 is the last colors. I'm going to leave a little bit of her eyes uncolored, and I'll come back in with that base coat one more time because I like what's under her glasses due to the reflection to be a bit lighter than the rest of it. That's just kind of the way I like to color my girls. Hi, Mickey. All right, so back to the E000 so I can do just underneath her glasses to keep that bright but not have really white spots on her eyes. So there we go. She's super cute. All right, so that takes care of our skin colors. So I'm going to take those and lay those aside. Now I'm going to work on her hair. And I've decided for brown for her hair tonight. I'm going to do a very simple brown blend. I was going to do purple, but then again, you know, every time I color one of these, it doesn't have to have purple hair. E29 is my darkest color, so I'm going to do that up underneath the hat for the shadow. I have to hold the marker upright so I can get really tiny brush strokes. And then we can't forget this little bit of hair she has right on the back of her neck, because she has her hair pulled up underneath her hat. Okay, so we have E25 is next. It's our middle color, so it's going to get a little more love. It's also going to be the color that fills in the underside of the hair and the sides that are pretty dark. And then we'll leave some highlight spots for the last color, which I chose E23. So I'm just going to do a little bit of swiping back and forth to kind of blend that, but still leave those highlights in there. I don't want to do it too much. I don't want to wash out her hair or lose any of my little highlighting there. She's cute, huh? I love these little fisherman girls so much. I don't usually go fishing, so I don't really know what color those bobber thingies are. But I think I'm going to use this E23 to do just the top of a couple of these. I don't know if those are the right colors, so don't judge me on that. If you do know what color they should be, I just get to make it up. Oh, let's do her fishing pole handle too. So let's go back to E29. We might as well while we have it in here. While we have this color out. E27. I mean 25. E25. Sorry about that. I'm going to do this top part. And then I'm going to leave a little spot in there for the lightest color. Which is E23. Is it still freezing for you guys? Or is it behaving a little better now? You hear Jack, here he comes out into the craft room again. Maybe we should make her shoes brown as well. We might as well. We already have this color pulled out. So let's go back to E29 again. And I'm going to do the bottom part of her shoe. And then E25. Okay, you're good. Yay! Hi, Kathy Myers. E25, this one I'm going to do a little bit on the shoe, and I'm going to finish off the bottom because I want it to stay darker. Do a little bit on this shoe as well. And then E23, where I'll just finish it off with E23. And there we go. We have some cute little moccasin shoes going on here. Hey, hey. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do with the brown color. So now I wanted to do her outfit in a greenish color. So I chose YG 97, 95, 93, and then 63 we're going to do an overlay with 63. Just because I think it's a little bit too dark and I want it to be different than what we're going to do with the fish. So I'm going to start with the YG 97. Oops, I went outside the line. Oops, oops. We'll push it back with the colorless blender in just a little bit. I'll do this part right here. And I want to do this part right here. And then I also want to make her vest this color too. I don't know why, but I always think it should be like a taupe color or a greenish color when you go fishing. But I don't know, again, because I'm not a fisherman, but I just got here on my marker. Oh, and I want to do a little bit down here at the base of her foot too. You'll be right back. Okay. YG95 is next. And so going to leave these kind of a pale olive-ish color. Let's hope I don't go outside the lines this time. It happens sometimes. I don't like it when it happens, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. Almost every one that thank you. I'm glad you like the stencil. It's the water mandala stencil. We've had it for a while, but I wanted to show a different way for you to see the stencils because they're such a fun tool to use. And if you're like me, you have them, they're at your house, but you just don't use them as much as you could. Or I don't anyway. So I wanted to show different ways of using the stencil. And since last night it turned out so good, I thought, why not try another one and see what we get? I had one more I was debating with as well. But I think I need to play with that one just a little bit beforehand because I have some ideas. And I don't know which idea I want to go with, so I might play around with that to make my decision on which way we're going to test out. So I chose to go with this one for tonight. See, I like this color, but I feel like this is just a little bit too olive for my preference with this image. So I decided that I was going to use YG. You haven't used it? Uh-oh. Now you can use it, and look at all the cool stuff you can do. YG63. I'm just going to do one quick coat over top of this to kind of change the tone to a more green, a less olive. You'll still see the olive, but it will kind of brighten it up a little bit, which is what I'm going for. So I'm going to do this part 2. And I'm really lightly touching the paper. I'm not doing a heavy touch with that because I just want to really lightly touch the paper. Now I'm going to use this color again, but I'm going to do it without the YG63 because I want to color the little bass. So I know that you don't really have to because it's kind of a mostly black stamp, but I like to give it a little bit more color. So I'm going to go in here and color where I want the darker areas to be. Just kind of accenting some of these artist drawn lines. Just kind of make this guy come to life a little bit more. I think it helps a lot. Oh, I almost forgot this part down here. I just think it makes a big difference. And while we're at it, we might as well do one of these. because we're going to need color on them anyway. Okay, this is the YG95. So I'm going to start coloring this in just a little bit more with this one. Kind of taking out those white spots and making them this color instead. The rest of it will be for the last color. But for now, I'm going to try to get some of this color in there as well. I like to color everything that looks like it could take some color instead of leaving things blank on the page. But that's just a personal preference. So you guys could, you could just leave it or you can color it in. Kind of up to you. So YG93, this is where I'm going to come in and do these because I want these to remain really, really light. So I did those with the lightest color we have. I'm just going to lightly touch and blend because I want you to be able to see the difference between the colors. And besides, fish aren't really smooth anyway. They're all scaly and sort of tough, so... I think now that I kind of did this, though, I think we need to get rid of this white line that's between that black sign and the fish. So I'm just going to add this color to it. So it's not so obvious and doesn't jump right out there at you. Oops, I almost forgot right here by his eye. There we go. So if you like that, you can leave it like that. I feel like it needs a little bit more highlight, so I'm going to go in with my colorless blender, and I'm just going to touch some of the really light areas that I want to be a little bit lighter to kind of blend out, make it stand out a little bit. I think the colorless blender is very helpful for that. I kind of want to do a little bit around his mouth. There we go. Got the Lucky Critters. Love it to use today. So cute. Oh, yay. I'm so glad. I really like the Lucky Critters. Sorry about that earthquake. This is one of my favorites too, but the Lucky Critters are really fun to color. I'm going to use my multi-liner real quick to kind of deepen this little eye he's got going on in here. So I really just want that to stand out a little bit more. Okay, so next I've pulled two gray colors, so C1 and C00. I'm going to use C1 on this little bobber thing. And then this one up here kind of looks like the same type of thing to me, so I'm going to color one of those. And then also this reel, I want it to be kind of a grayish color. And then C00, we'll just kind of blend that color out. And I did this one and this one. Okay, so that's all I need for those. I did not finish coloring this one up here, so I'm coming in with my 93, YG93, to finish that off. Now, I want her bobber to be red, so I'm going to use two red colors, R59, which is pretty dark, but since I'm only using two colors, I didn't really want a whole lot of the red, so I didn't use the R89 like I usually use. I think I'm gonna make her hat and her shirt the color of one of the colors we have for the outside, so we'll see what it, we'll probably leave that for last so we can see what we think. R46, hat and our 46 here as well. And that gives us just a little bit of color up there on the hat. And then I also, this weird stuff, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure that has something to do with fishing. So I'm just going to use YR23 and just kind of color that in with little dots. I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm sure it has something to do with fishing. I also think we're going to color in this sign. It says "You Kick Bass," but I think we're going to color that with something we do on the outside too. So I'm going to leave those for now. This is what I want. This is what I want colored for the image for right now. And now I'm going to pull in the colors that I want to do on the outside. So I chose 2 different shades of blue since this was, I wanted it to resemble water. So I chose 2 different shades of blue. And I want the outside blue to be the darkest. So I actually chose I chose B69, 66, and then this 45 to kind of bring it a little more back to blue, because this is sort of a purple blue. These two are sort of give a purple tint, but the 45 will bring it back to blue. So we're going to start with B69. The name of the set is Gone Fishin'. I've gone fishing. Okay, so I'm going to do these water droplets right here. I want the base of the droplet to be the darkest and the pointy part to be the lightest. So I'm going to start by doing just the bottom of a couple of these. And you want to touch really close to the edge, but don't go over the edge because it'll bleed if you do. And we have very thin lines here, so if you just go close to the edge, it will span out a little bit and take care of the edges for you. So I think I'm going to do 3 at a time to start off with, just to make sure, feel really good with this color blend I chose, and that I don't apply too much and then leak it all over the edges. So want to be really careful with that. So I'm going to start with 3, and then if I feel really confident with that, I'll do more at a time the next go round, but for now we're going to start with 3. B66. So this one right here, you're not going to see the tip of it, so we're just going to blend out those colors. You get a really smooth, pretty blue, kind of a purpley blue, but a really pretty color. But you do have to work with it a bit, so my suggestion would be work more with what you see right here, where the meetup is, rather than working on the edges, because you don't want to bleed that blue out past your little teardrop, raindrop, teardrop, whatever you want to call it, water droplet. You can just kind of name it whatever you want. You will have to go over it more than once, because see, you can see that line still there. I know you guys can see that because I can see it on TV, on the TV where I'm casting too. So just go over that little area a couple of times to smooth that out. And then it just goes away and makes it perfectly smooth. Okay, so B45, this is the one that's going to bring it back more to a stormy sky blue, or whatever you want to call it. This is actually the stormy blue Copic color. I don't usually use the names, but I want to be really careful up there at the top, so I touch it with the really tip of the marker. And then again, you'll have to work this just a little bit. If your colors don't blend completely smooth, We'll just have to go over it more than once and then allow the marker to blend on its own. The colors to blend on their own. And then you can move on to this one, and if you have to go back and touch up, you can. You can always go back and touch up Copics. Just remember that if it dries, it's going to be a shade darker when you mix them together. I kind of like it like this too, not fully blended. So, but we want to stay consistent. So this is what we're getting, is these little teardrop shit. Hi Marisol. This is actually the Gone Fishing set. And the stencil is called the Water Mandala. So we have 3 done. We're going to do a little more this time. I'm feeling a little more confident with how smooth it's coming out. Hello, hello. So I'm going to do a few more this time instead of just doing 3. Hey honey, that cat's in the backyard again. We have these stray cats that come into our yard and then whine. I don't know how to get them to stop doing that. But I think they're in heat or something. They're driving us crazy. The other night it was 3 a.m. 2:30 or 3 a.m. They were whining so loud outside of our house it woke us both up. I don't have any problems with cats. I just don't want them whining in my yard at 3 a.m. when they're not mine. It wakes us up, but the dog sleeps through it. Now, what good is that, right? Okay, this is B66. This one is a little, this marker is a little juicy, so I'm really careful when I get towards the edge because I don't want to push it out. I'm pretty sure with as many water droplets as I have, eventually one of them is going to go outside the lines, but that's okay. 1, nobody will probably even notice, and 2, you can push them back in with the colorless blender once it dries. So I'm not really worried about that. It doesn't stress me out when I'm coloring, so I'll just blend this a second time just to get a really good smooth blend, and then we're going to move on to this one. When I notice how I go much slower when I'm close to the edge, and then I get up faster when I'm over top of the center part, because I'm not really worried about, I don't have to stay in any lines when I'm in the center part, so go a little bit slower, but you don't want to hold the marker on the paper too long when you're going slow like that, because if you do, it will put more ink on the paper, and then you'll bleed outside the lines, and then you'll be very unhappy. So next one is B45, and this one I'm going to go really slowly up into the tip of the droplet of water. And then I'm going to start working the transition between these 2 colors. And then there we go. So moving on to the next one. Going to work slowly up to the tip. Oops. And then I'm going to work this a little bit faster. Right here, because I want this to blend really well. And there we go. This is a repetitive motion, but it's kind of meditative. So I like to listen to TV or music when I do this, because it's just so meditative. So tell me, what have you guys been up to? Has anybody been coloring anything? Have you tried any of the techniques we talked about? If think I gave you guys homework a couple weeks ago. And I didn't see any posts on it. Look at how pretty those look. Ooh, I really like it. Okay, so I'm trying not to touch the paper where I colored because it's probably still a little bit wet and I don't want to pick any of that color up on my fingers. So I'm trying to touch in different areas. Ooh, you guys are quiet tonight. Very quiet. We have just some half circles over here, so I'm just coloring those little pieces dark blue. Hey, Renska, are you still here? Listening and working at the same time. Oh, nice. Renska, still watching. Yay. Okay, Renska, I have a question for you. Are you still selling creative memories? I hope so, because I have a question. Oh, it looks like a... Oh, no. Okay. Whew. I said, it looks like... I think I'm going to take a napkin and use that because I feel like I'm going to put my fingers in the wet ink. Okay. So, Renska, are they having any new border... These things, do they have any new ones of these coming in with different designs on them? Do you know? Do they have any more yet? You don't sell, you buy. I buy creative memories, but I haven't bought any in a long time, and I thought Renska sold it, so I thought I'd just go with her. I usually just pick them up at an expo if I need anything, but I thought I saw the other day something on Facebook that said Renska was still selling it. Not right now? Okay. I'll be patient. I was out there looking at creative memories the other night. I gotta start working on Cooper's scrapbook. The dude's 5 now and I don't have anything done yet. I'm being a terrible grandma. Alright, last color is B45. So again, very gentle when you go to the tip, and use your marker upright so that you can get a really fine line up there. And then you can use more of this side when you're doing the blending part down here. So many pictures. I know. I need to. I've been saving them in a folder and stuff. It's going to take a lot of organization now to go through them, but at least they're all organized in a folder. You're back! Yay! Also, Renska, have you ever tried your, I know Creative Memories has like black, like a multi-liner, but not really, not a Copic multi-liner, but have you ever tried it with your Copics? Oh, come on, I'm not not getting close enough to the line. I'm afraid I'm going to go over. There we go. I wonder if we could use those multi-liners for this. You notice how I build that little fence along the edge of this before I start saturating the paper? That's just to prevent bleeding. I don't do it with everything, but since these spaces are so small that we're coloring, I don't want to bleed over the edge. So I'm building the little fence or border, whatever you want to call it. I might as well go. I only have 2 more. Yes, they do have one, and no, I have not tried it. I'll need to try it and let me know. When you try it, let me know if it works. Because if it does, that might be where I have to get some more multi-liners. I never can find my multi-liner when I want it. Even though I have about 10 of them, I never can find one, so I feel like I need more. This is B66. Second color. These are only 3 color combos. I mean, we could do more, but I just don't think we need it for this small little area. So I'm just using 3 color combos, and I'm going to use 3 on all the little designs on here, because I feel like 3 is enough. I could do more, but for you guys learning this, it would be easier for you to use 3. So that is why I'm only using a 3 color combo. Plus, when I post on YouTube, if people want to watch, some of them might not have all the marker colors, so I don't want to use too awful many. So you guys can color along with me. Or you could just come to the retreat and really color along with me. That would be super fun. I believe it's at the same location that we had in Idaho the last time we were in Idaho for our retreat, which was the first Idaho retreat. This will be the second. In between, we came to Texas. Go to Jamie's neck of the woods. Trying to let that dry a little bit before I hit it again. This is coming out super cool. What do you guys think? Are you liking it? It's really pretty, I think. I love that you can spotlight your image in the center and still make awesome backgrounds. But you don't have to come up with the design yourself. You can just use the stencil and all is good. Plus, you could even practice doing teardrops by just sketching a few out on your paper and then playing with them before you decide what you want to do with the background. Making sure you feel really comfortable coloring them in and what shades you want to use. It'll give you a lot of practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's how we all get better. You love it? Yay! So glad you guys love it. was trying not, I want to finish my, my color decks, memory decks, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to finish my cards. I think I still have a couple of months that are not done yet, but I figured I wanted to do that at off times from when Jamie's doing it. And since she did a few this weekend, I thought you guys would like a little bit different technique. Good thing I was watching her this weekend and knew what she already did, so I didn't do the same thing. Did you guys join the color decks swap? The theme is rainbow, and you only have to make 2. You only have to make 2. And you'll get 2 back. All right, look at that. That's pretty awesome. Wait till I pull it. It's so much lighter on the edges. You did? You sent yours out today? Awesome sauce. I did it too. I haven't sent mine out yet. I still have them here. Okay. So the other thing I thought about was I wanted to do these as droplets as well, but I didn't want to do them in the same color. So I chose a blue-green color combination. I chose BG18, BG07, and BG15. Just to kind of try to change it up just a little bit. So we are going to do this in between a different color, but we're going to go ahead and do the water droplets first. So we got to turn this one upside down because again, I'm going to put the darkest color on the bottom, stay consistent with how I'm doing these little drops. I feel a little more comfortable with them because I've already done so many around the outside that I'm going to then work on this a few more at a time. These are also smaller, so you can do them just slightly faster than the bigger ones, but you also have to be careful not to go outside the lines a little bit more on these. The size is right. For some reason, I think they're small. They feel small. I'll bet they're the right size. Are you the one that asked me for the size? I thought that was Michelle, but it could have been you. They should always be 4 inches across, but then the height kind of changes depending on what the design of the Dex card is. Bless you. So, So yeah, that was you? Yeah, I thought it was Michelle. Yeah, it's always 4 inches across, but depending on what kind of design is on there. No worries though, we'll be able to help you with sizes and stuff coming soon to your local shop. There you go. Then yeah, you're good. You're good, you're good. They won't always all be the same size, for sure. I mean, even mine aren't in mine because I use different dies or bought different card size ones. But the width is always 4 across, and the little notches are always in the same place in the middle of the the 4 inches. And we'll have another ATC swap after the color decks swap. So in March we'll have the next ATC swap. Okay, BG15 is the next color, and this is the one that we're going to blend into the tip. And we're going to come back, go over this, and kind of blend that out. I'm going to actually go on to the next one, and I'll go back and touch it again. It needs just a slight bit darker, but I don't want to make it too saturated because this is a really tiny area, and I don't want to bleed outside the lines. If we come back after we've given it a chance to dry a little bit, it'll work out better, I think. Now off to this one. This is a much smaller little droplet, so a little bit quicker. Smooth that out a little bit. It's always okay to go back over it and smooth it out so you have a nice clear. Notice how the tips are lighter, and that really makes it look cool, doesn't it? I mean, you could do these droplets all in the same color, but look at how cool they look with 3 markers. They look super cool. I'm just going over it that one last time just to get that really good blend. That was pretty good. We did 3, 6, 7 of them all at one time. We're going to do it again too. We're powering it out. BG18, starting with BG18 again. Wait till we do those little ones in between. Those are some small spots. That'll be the deciding factor on whether I can stay between the lines. So keep in mind though, when you're doing this, if you're new to it, you haven't done it before, and you're not really sure or you're not really comfortable yet, you don't have to use, you make them all one color. They probably still would look so pretty. You don't usually have shadowing in background paper, so it's okay to do it your own way. You like the color combo? I was trying to come up with a blue, like kind of a deep sea blue, and then also like ocean, a beautiful beach ocean blue. I thought the contrast of those two would be really good. So you never know what kind of fishing this little chick's gonna be doing. So give her all the water right here. You could also do this if you had a picture of like a duck or something in the rain. This would look really cute, I think. Like a Alright, let's go back and blend with our second color, which is BG07. Oh, look at this marker's a little dirty. It might need some cleaning after the live. I want to do a clean marker maintenance video, but I feel like that needs to be on the weekend when I can catch more people. So I need to talk to Jamie about when we want to do that one. So I'm starting to prepare for it. I just need to know when to do it. I tell you, it feels a little bit different coloring it if you don't turn the paper. Different angle, different feel. So don't hesitate to move your paper if it makes life easier for you. Okay. Moving on to BG 15. BG 15, we got to do upright so we can blend really well and get tiny brush strokes all the way upright. I went a little far on this one, so it might be a little bit darker. Droplet, but they're all different, so I am okay with that. These colors are going really well together, so I'm not even... Is that the right one? This one. Needs just a little bit more blending on there. This one. Then off to this one. Here we go. Don't rush yourself too much or for sure you'll go outside the line. Okay, come back over here. Blend this out for a second shot. Same thing on this one. Same thing on this one. Now, gentle again. See, that didn't take too long to do those. Okay, back over here. Hit that one more time. That one. This one. There we go. And then I'm looking and I see a little bit of a difference right there, so I want to fix that. It looks like I didn't get quite as much color down there. Alright, those look a lot better. Notice how much brighter they get once they dry. So you have to let them sit for just a little bit while you're deciding. Okay, we're going to do this last section all in one shot. BG 18. What, baby?
On your stencil, the triangles. Then you have the teardrops that you're doing right now.
Uh-huh. We're going to do the triangles too.
No, I was saying because it's just like you can do the triangles and then you can shift the teardrops over so they bisect the triangle. You put it over top and then you can make a little fish.
Oh, yeah. See, Dale's seeing different stuff in the stencils too. He says you can make fish out of these shapes. So this one that I'm coloring, you just need a little eye on there, and then you put this shape at his tail and you have a little fish. So you could make little fish if you did like an ocean scene. You could make little fish out of these. Oh, you're loving the colors? Yeah, this is blue and blue-green. I like it too. I'm really happy. Although I won't lie, it took me a while to come up with the combos because I wanted it to be just right. And so I worked a little while on getting the colors I wanted to blend together really well. And it looks like they're coming out pretty good. I'm liking them. I am going all the way over the other color because these are significantly different colors and it helps blend them a little bit better. Yes, we're going to Pleasanton. Pleasanton is our first expo this year. So we will be heading that way in March. Actually, I will be going to Idaho and then driving with Jamie. So I will be going at the end of the month. But before I do that, I am going to Arizona. Probably end of next week. Got the word today that my son got some time off so we can hang out. So I'm super excited about that. I just found out tonight. Sometimes it goes a long time and I don't hear from my son or my daughter. And then it seems like when one calls, they both call. I do not use a color wheel. I never have. Yeah, I think it is Northern California. No, I've never used a color wheel. But I did take a lot of art classes in college. And I think I just have an eye for color, really. I think that's kind of it. Like I don't know, just a natural eye for color. Because I never did use the color wheel. I have used, have you heard of the Copic app that they have out? Yes, I'm so good. Yeah, lots of traveling. It's about to start. It's about to go down. The Copic app, it's called Copic NA, I think. There's a place in the app other than, like, most people use it to track their how many markers they own and what they need to buy, and you can track your refills and your markers and whether they're sketch or original or chow or whatever. It's a pretty cool app, but there's also some hidden features in there. And one of them is complementary colors. I did not use it for this combo, but I used to use it when I first started coloring with Copics. You put in the color that you're using, like I would say I'm using BG15 right now, and it will tell you what complementary colors look really good with it. So if I get stuck, like if I have to color a lot on one page of something and I get to the point where I'm not really sure. Okay. Yeah, Copic app. Uh-huh. Bye, Angela. Text me when you get home. Yes, there is a Copic app. Look at that. Woo-wee. I love it. Okay, so while we have our blues out, I want to do these little dots. I'm going to put a little bit of blue on them. So this is going to go really fast. Not going to do a whole lot, but at the top, I'm just going to touch the top with this darkest color. Just in case my little pearls don't cover the whole circle. I don't want any white spots showing. So I'm just kind of staying on the top of the circles. So where I'm putting the darkest is changing depending on the direction of the circle, but always staying on the top. And then I'm going to skip my middle color, and I'm just going to come in with my lightest color. And fill in that circle, and it'll give it a really pretty color. You use the Copic app? Yes. Safe travels, Angela. B45. So I'm just going to come in here with this one and just kind of blend out this dark color and fill in the light color. So I don't want to put too much because I don't want it to go outside the lines. I'm just going to mix these colors together while I have my blues out. Just putting that one blue side on this really makes those little circles pop, rather than just doing them all in one color. Just kind of a little trick that makes it look really cute, really cool. Sort of pop. I have to use the tip of my marker, so I'm trying to do this so you guys can see, but if my hand's in the way, I apologize. We will get back to my hand not being in the way in a minute. There we go. So now we have the inside dots. Know what you have and what you need when you are shopping for Copics. Yes, exactly. I love that they have an app for that, so I don't have to remember to have my list with me. Okay, so for the in-between color, I wanted something a little bit brighter, and I think this is the one that I'm probably going to use on her shirt and hat as well, because it is a girl, and I do think that nothing is better than a little bit of a pink color. So I picked kind of a pinky mauve. I picked RV34, 32, and then I'm going to throw in this salmon color. You guys know I love this one. You still buy doubles. That means you forgot to mark it in your book. Hi, Colleen. Okay, so I'm going to do the little triangles in between with this one, only this time, instead of starting with the dark on the bottom and going up, I'm going to start with the dark on the top. That's a stand that Dale made for me because I was using 2 of these on all my lives, and so he made me a 2-tier. He made a Sandy special. That's what happens when you live with the designer. I always was using 10. Jamie still likes the 5x5, so that idea has not gone away. We're still working on that way to make that. I like the 2 set because it works best for me. because sometimes I have more than a 5-color combo with like the colorless blender and everything, so I need an extra one. And instead of fumbling with the same ones, Dale just took care of me. I'm gonna keep going here a little bit. I want to kind of get half of this done because these are so small that I don't think they'll dry too much before I get back to them. But I think I should stop soon. So that looks like pretty close to half. Maybe not quite. Maybe we should keep going just a little bit more. Probably about 3 more. Now get it half done in one shot. Half and then the other half. Dale makes me all kinds of cool stuff that he sees I need. And he's been designing some of our stencils too, so he's been pretty crafty lately. I guess you have a lot more time when you're not doing a cosplay costume this year. Alright, going back now. RV32. This one's going to be pretty close, just lighter than the last color. So we're just going to blend this out. It's such a small area. It's going to still have kind of an ugly transition in there, but I'll go back and touch it up in a minute. So one more time to smooth out that transition. And it does it nicely. I'm super happy about that. We could two-fist coloring if we needed to. But I think we got this with just one marker at a time. Sometimes when I'm doing this on my own, when I'm not doing it on a live, I will hold 2 markers in my hand at one time and switch back and forth when it's such a little space like this. This is the last one, and I'm going to go back and touch these up for that one more time. I think right here is where I last stopped. We're just going to touch it up one more time just to get a little bit more smooth. The going back and touching it up a little bit, the reason that we're doing that like this is so we don't oversaturate that teeny tiny triangle and go outside the lines. I know I already said that and you guys are hearing that more than once, but maybe it'll stick. What do you think about me putting this pink in between these blues? It's kind of pretty, huh? Wait till you see it's going to change when we use the salmon color. It's going to change the tone of the color quite a bit. But I mean, why not use salmon? That is kind of a water. Salmon live in the ocean or in the river or whatever you want to say. But salmon are fish, so it's appropriate. It's different, huh? It just now changed the whole look of the design. So what this tells you is you could do just the 2 water droplets, or you could add this. You could have 2 or 3 different designs. This is the one that's going to change it up a little bit. It's going to give it a little bit of that kind of orangey, peachy kind of color to it instead of as pink as it was. This one blends really, really smoothly in here. I like this one. This is one of my favorite markers because you can use it with so many different colors and it magically changes and blends the color into a really cool color. I didn't use this marker a lot in the beginning when I first started Copic coloring, but it has really changed my view of that. Hi, Harlan. Alrighty, we're almost done with the first half of these triangles, and then we'll do the last one. And that was a lot faster than the teardrops, so I think we'll get it. We're going to be done and build our card here very shortly. I've already pulled out the papers to build the card, so it won't take very long. But if you guys have any questions, definitely jump in and ask. More than happy to help out. Last night I mentioned I was working on other projects, and then I said, do you want to see them? And then I never showed them. So if I remember tonight, I'll show them to you tonight. Back to RV34. You know, I bet this even would have looked different if I had put the dark on this end and the light on this end. So many variations of this that you could do. Let me turn this around. I seem to be having better luck with it going this way. You don't want to mess up now and go outside the lines. That would be terrible. We've gotten this far. Might have to have a sticker or embellishment over it if I mess it up now. Yeah. This is live, so you get the actual how it comes out. You get all the truth. All the truth. Alright, look at that. We did that pretty quick. Next one, RV34. We are almost done. Then we just have to do her clothes, and we will be her shirt and her hat, and then we will be ready to make our card. Now remember, this one we have to go over a second time to blend it a little better, but we're not going to do it the first time we touch the paper because we don't want to oversaturate the paper and go outside the lines of the triangle. So I'm just, since there weren't that many of them, oh yeah there are, I'm going back now. I thought I was almost done, and I was like, well, there's not that many, I'll just go back all at one time, but nope. See how that blends so much better on this second go round? And that's why we do that. That's why I do it like that. If I don't get a really smooth coloring. Now when we're doing like a shirt or whatever, you can keep going over it because the center part of the shirt, you're not gonna bleed outside the lines. But when you're doing a stencil design and it's really thin lines because you used a multi-liner, you have to be a little bit more careful with those, getting close to those lines because they are so thin. Because when we generate artwork for stamps, we make that line much thicker in the hand-drawn version than what you're getting out of this multi-liner. Although you could use a bigger multi-liner. Yes, that's what we're going to do. I agree, Michelle. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use these same colors for her shirt and hat so that it ties it all to get together really, really well. And I'm going to turn this upside down when I do this one because I'm going to start from the edge and blend down. that will smooth out that transition and make it really pretty. Blend those colors well. This last color is easy. It's kind of quick. You could have probably used 2 colors if you wanted, but I really wanted this E42 to come in here and kind of change the tone of this color, because I love the way this E42 changes everything. It's so pretty. You can use it with purples too. I haven't tried it with blues or greens, but we should. We should try it sometime. There we go. Isn't that awesome? Awesome sauceum. Okay, let's do her shirt. So I'm going to do her shirt, the hat, and this sign that says, "You kick bass." Okay, so we're using the darkest color. We're going to put the shadow areas in. I'm going to put just a little bit back there because she is wearing a vest. And then I'm going to do her hat at the same time. And then under the brim of her hat, I got a fuzzy on my paper. And then I'm going to go up just a little bit on the top of this hat, but not too much. Yep. Okay, here we go. This is RV32, the second color. We only have 3 colors in this combination, so this is the true color. So I am going to use a little bit more of this color, a little bit more liberal with this color. Especially because that last color really does a little bit of changing up the tone of the color. Oops, I kind of did that and a little wonky. I want to get this color in there really good where the darkest areas are. Make sure it smooths it out pretty good. So I'm taking that second go round to get that really smooth transition there. And now here comes the magic color, which you'll be able to see, I think, a lot more on the hat than you did in the triangles, but we'll see. So here we go. Kind of changes that color from a mauvey pink to a, I don't know, orangey pink, peachy pink. I don't know, I just like it. A lot. Look at that. So cute. Now we have to do this sign real quick because I think it'll make it. So I'm going to do the top part of the sign. And I'm going to do the bottom part of the sign. Then I'm going to blend that color out with this RV32. I'm also going to finish going around. Kind of blending down a little bit further, pushing that dark shadow color back into itself. Kind of like we did with the skin tone. And then we'll come across it with that magic color right in the middle. I really like that. I think I'm going to come in with the colorless blender real quick and touch the center just to lighten it up just a little bit. So I'm just going to put this over it, and then that's it. And as the colorless blender dries, it'll push it a little bit. So I don't know if you could really see that happening all that much, but I promise it did. Look at how pretty that is. So cool. Okay. So there we go. So these are the colors. Since I chose the colors, this is what I've chosen. I'm going to zoom out so you can see. These are the colors we used last night, and we're going to use them again tonight. And I'll show you what I wanted to do with that. But I chose this color card base because it matches really well. And then I thought it would really stand out with the silver behind it. So we're going to try that and see how it goes. I need to grab my trimmer real quick because we are going to have to trim that silver. You like it? I love it. I think it looks really good. I'm loving coloring these stencils with our Copic markers. I think it just looks amazing. That's just my opinion. I love it. Let's see how well I do with this cutting. Okay. I got this paper from my scrap bin. So I didn't want it to be really big. I just wanted a teeny silver lining on here. So I'm going to make sure that these are cut straight because it looks like they're, yep, it looked like it wasn't cut perfectly straight. Means I'm not a very good trimmer of paper when I was cutting that one. So I'm really only taking a little sliver off, so it's teeny tiny. Alright, so first we're going to fold our card, burnish the edge with our espresso. I'm going to place this one inside. So in a minute I'll recap the other ones that we did too so you can see them, all the different designs. I had a little glue booger on the top of my glue. My glue is getting low. Can you tell? I have to squeeze it a little bit harder. It's good exercise for my hand and arm and forearm, but not much fun. Okay, so we're going to put this in there so we can write the sentiment on the colored paper. On the white paper instead of the colored paper is what I meant. And then before I go sticking all the bling and all the stuff on it, I'm going to actually stamp the back. This is in hopes that I don't do the card backwards by mistake, because that would really be a bummer. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys like this. Let's see if this is going to fit on there or if I'm going to need to trim it down a little bit more. I think it's going to fit. Then this one will fit on top. And oh, it'll be so pretty. Yep, I like. We'll put the bling on last. I need to refill my glue so bad. Alright, here we go. I'm not sure how well this is going to stick on glitter paper with the Barely Art glue. I have not tried that before, but we'll see. Hopefully it will hold it well. I'm going to flip it over so I can rub it really good with my espresso. Give it a chance to really adhere. I'm giving it just a teeny bit of extra time just because it is glitter paper and I don't know how well it'll hold. It looks like it's holding. Not as great as I would like though. So I might want to put some reason that nothing sticks to that glitter paper except for this double-sided sticky tape. So we're going to switch. Hi Heidi. to our double-sided sticky tape, which is a little bit harder to line up because once the sticky tape sticks, man, it is stuck. But if you put, I've heard, if you put a bit of the Barely Art glue over the sticky part, you can reposition it a little bit better. So we're going to try that because I don't want to lay this down on the card incorrectly, because that would be such a bummer after all the hard work we did. Or I could have just not pulled these all the way off. I could show you that trick as well. If you just peel these off partially, like this. This is a Jamie trick. She taught me how to do this. I was like, what are you doing? And then she explained it to me, and it was so helpful. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue over top of this one so it doesn't stick too fast. And then you lay it, and you make sure all your little ends are sticking out. And you lay it on there where you want it, which is slightly harder with those little papers sticking out, but not too bad. So you kind of get it where you want it. You press down the sticky parts. And when you're happy with where it's at, then you pull these out. And it adheres them. That way you're not pulling off and re-sticking the whole thing at one time. So it works a whole lot better than... That's a cool little trick that Jamie taught me. Now the back of this sticks just like any other paper, but sticking to the glitter part sometimes is a bit challenging. But the double-sided sticky tape works really good. I think Barely Art glue works on everything else, but it just does not hold on that glitter. I don't know why. Okay, flipping it over. Gonna rub it with the espresso. This evens out all the glue, spreads it out so you don't have glue bubbles. Makes it adhere a little better. And then there you go. Now it's time to add a little bit of bling. So I want to show you two things with the bling. Okay, one is the, my desk is not clean, clearly. We can either use the blue from, because this matches, here I'll hold it up so you guys can see. But like these blue match really well. Or if you wanted to, you could take the blue that we used, B69, and you can color the white ones. Well, those aren't stuck. You can color the white ones, kind of go around them like this. And you can make them the exact color that you want. And they'll dry by the time we get done doing all of them. The first ones will be dry and we'll stick them to the card, and they will match exactly because they are colored with the Copic marker. And I didn't know if you guys knew that or not, but it's pretty easy to color them. You want to color the top, but you also want to go around the sides with the marker just so you get everything colored up. I counted them earlier and I think there were 24 of them, so that's most of these white ones that I want to put on the card. So I'm just going to keep coloring. So I'm pretty sure it's almost all of the ones that I have. I think these were the ones I took off last night when we changed our minds. So they're not quite as sticky as what they were before, but I probably don't need them anyway. I probably have enough with the other ones. But there we go. So now I'm going to use my little tool, my little tweezer tools, pick it up, place it where I want it. I really need a tool that, I need a pickup tool. I don't have a pickup tool, so you guys get to watch me struggle. But it's going okay, and they're covering up those circles, so I guess I didn't really need to color them, but if you decided you didn't want to put bling all the way around it, you could leave it colored like I did, but I thought it would be fun, one, to show you that you can match the colors by coloring the white ones, and two, we'd match exactly with this color. So I thought that would be pretty cool. When I get done, I'll press them all down with the espresso, so to make sure they're all stuck really good. Isn't this cool? Hi, Mary Joyce. I really like how this came out. So we'll recap a little bit. This is the water mandala stencil. It actually looks like this. So for people who came in late or who are jumping on now, we just used a multi-liner. We drew out the design from this that we wanted, and we colored it with Copic markers, so it would give you a little bit of a different something that you could do with your stencils and with your coloring for practice and for beautiful, easy cards. You don't have to put images in the middle. You could just put a sentiment and it would be really adorable. We actually I wanted to put the fishing image in the center because I thought this looked like water droplets, and going fishing and water and everything would just be super cute. Would all just kind of roll together. And yes, I think I colored enough of these. We will know soon. I might be shy one. If I had a picker tool, this would have went a little bit faster. Yep, I missed. I have to do one more. So if you didn't see, I'm just taking my Copic marker and I'm just coloring around and on top of the white pearls. And then they are the exact color that I want them to be, that will match the colors I did in the project. Dadgummit. Got a little feisty there. Stay. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to use my espresso and I'm just going to press down on all the dots so they all stay in place. Notice they all kept their color. And there we go. So you could have done this and you could have left off the center pieces, or you could have left off the dots, or you could have added more, whatever you wanted to do. But look at how awesome this looks. It says, "You kick bass." And then, so last night we did this one. And look at how pretty that was. I mean, look at all the different styles you can get. How awesome are these? They almost look like a spiral graph, huh? And then this one, this is the opposite. So this is the stencil we used tonight. And then we used the mandala last night, and we got both of these. And so this is super fun. I'm having just a blast with this. What do you guys think? Are you going to try it? Because it's so much fun. Just think you could do something with like a sentiment around the outside, and you could do just this, or you could do this on the edge, just this part and over here. I mean, there's so much you could do with these stencils. Don't limit yourself. Give it your all. Try everything. Try anything, because it's so much fun. And your design could be the same as mine if you choose the exact same circles as me. But if you choose different ones, or maybe you choose to put this in there as well, then yours is going to look totally different than mine. And that's what I love about it. Everybody's will look different. And your different colors. And these are the gemstones I used. They're called rainbow pearls. I used all the white ones and colored over them. We could have colored over the blue. Probably can't do over the black, but you can do over the yellow and over the blue and over the white. Oh, you're right. Thank you so much for reminding me. So when I first started out, Hannah Lynn was one of my favorite artists. So I have this book of hers, this coloring book that I've had for years and years and haven't colored in it. It's super cool. It says simple and sweet and simple whimsy pocket size coloring. And so I finally got it out and did one of them. Ta-da! I flagged it so I could show you guys tonight. So this is my scarecrow. Isn't that fun? I just love it. It was so much fun. It's way bigger than a card, but not too big to be overpowering. And then I started another one. This is actually, look at her. This is actually the Queen of Hearts. She's not done yet, but I started her. But the scarecrow is done. I really like it. I was so happy with it. But I needed something to color. I wanted to color something just for peace of mind, not for work, not for sweet sentiment, just something on my own, and that's what I chose, and it was super fun. So thank you for asking, and I hope you guys like that. So this was super fun. Tomorrow we will do, I don't know, something else. If you have any ideas or thoughts, maybe we'll play with another stencil. I don't know. There's so many options out there, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow night, 9:30 Central Time. And so be here, join me, and I will see you guys then. Thank you for staying. Good night.